Okay,
Good evening, sir.
good evening. So what we had discussed in our last session, we had discussed about destructuring assignments, right? We had discussed about destructuring assignments. Okay, so what is destructuring? Destructuring means from the combined, like you are getting iterable references. Out of that, if you want to get some values, like for example, there are two kind of uh, iterable objects. Like one is JSON object, other one is array, right? So in array, how you are declaring an array? Where ARR equals to, say, for example, 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. So if you want to destructure, how you are destructuring? For array, how you do that? You can declare like this on the right side, and this. Out of this, whichever the value you want, you can destructure. You are unable to hear me? Kuldeep, are you unable to hear me? What about others?
Yes, sir, we are hearing.
Can I think so? Some problem with this system. I think you need to activate the sound.
Kuldeep, okay. Somebody can chat and let him know. Just that, let him
I'll
know.
fix. I'll fix. I'll fix.
Okay. 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 So in this case, see, right hand side, what are this? Now array, if you see array reference, ARR I take, what it is giving? It is giving all the indices, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And it is giving the value. So how we can destructure this? By using an array on the other side. ARR I am taking. Now, whichever the value you want out of that, you can take it with any variable. I want on X. I don't want 20. Then I can put empty. Then I want what? 30. I don't want the other one. Then I want 50. Yes or no? Then what happens? In this case, destructuring complete. So if I take X, if I take Y, if I take Z, we have already done this, right? So array destructuring. If you want to do that for objects, what you have to do? Where, say, object, anything you take. How you declare a JSON object? Like this, right? This is a symbol. Yes or no? This is the symbol of object. Then if you are having, for example, say I am taking EMP. Okay, EMP. Then I'm having, for example, employee ID, say 101. Then employee salary or employee name is, say, Sagar. Quickly, for which people didn't attend the last one. Then designation is what? Designation is SSE. Okay. Then say, for example, address is another JSON object where, say, location is, say, for example, Bangalore, and pin is, say 560044. Okay. So this is the pin number. Okay. Now see, this is a JSON object, right? This is JSON object. So there is a difference between array destructuring and object destructuring. When you do object destructuring, how you destructure it? Using a symbol like this. And on the other side, it will be the reference. Now out of this, what is the difference between array destructuring and object destructuring is? On object destructuring, you have to give the exact key, because this is what? This is an entry. This is a key value pair. 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 Okay. This is the key in this, and this is the value. This is the value. Okay. Key value, key value, key value, key value. Okay. So in this case, you have to give the exact key. That is, say, for example, I want out of this ename only. I can give ename. Then what it is going to give me? If I type ename, then it gives me, it retrieves me the data. Yes or no? I want address.
सर
Yeah.
हेलो
Yeah, tell
सर
me.
एक छोटा सा क्वेश्चन था जो डाउट था मैं पूछ सकता हूँ अभी
हाँ.
ऑब्जेक्ट को लेकर सर जैसे
Thank
की
you,
और वैल्यू
Kuldeep.
को
Yeah, please
सर
tell me.
श्योर यस सर वो की और वैल्यू को लेकर आपने बताया था ऑब्जेक्ट की तो उसमें अगर हम किसी की को चेंज कर रहे हैं तो उसकी वैल्यू ऑटोमेटिकली चेंज होती थी क्या कोई ऐसा मेथड है जो उसकी की चेंज कर दे
I had told you, whenever you are changing key cannot be changed. Key can be either removed or, removed and re-added.
yes
If you
yes
want to,
sure sir
you
I
want
got
to
I
add,
got it
yeah. If you want to edit ename, okay, Now emp.ename cannot be emp.ename. It cannot be like that. You cannot edit.
जैसे
Values can be changed. If you want to remove, you can remove by say delete ename. Sorry,
ऑलराइट
emp.ename. Now you did it. So now if I type print emp, what it is giving me? I don't have emp ename. Yes or no, only designation. Then what you do? You say emp ename. Emp, you add it. Emp ename is say for example, okay, say Sukesh.
ये
Then I am trying now emp. See, I got the name also ename, right? So there is no way to update the key. Value can be updated.
सर बाई मिस्टेक कभी सर्वर पे ऐसा कुछ प्रॉब्लम हो जाता है इसमें कि वो चेंज करनी पड़े तो इसके लिए फिर हमको पूरा अपडेट करना पड़ेगा मीन्स
That shows that you are not a good, futuristic, you don't have good futuristic view, because whenever what happens, whenever any project starts, they will be preparing the schema, seeing all the aspects. Okay, so that is one time.
ऑलराइट सर
Like on, if you know, on database, if you are planning to change a key or change a column name, then how much effort will go into server side? Everywhere they need to change, right? Yes or no?
श्योर सर आई गॉट इट सर
Basically, what they do, basically they will be, that is called ORM, object relational mapping. So what happens on the
श्योर सर
database side, if some key will be there, like it is a table, okay, it is a table, employee table is there. This is an employee table. This is EID, ename, ESAL. EID, ename, ESAL. Okay, this is EID, EID, ename, ESAL. Now this is there. For that, what you will be creating? You will be creating a JSON object on the server side to retrieve that. Yes
स्कीमा
or no? So you will be telling, say, where emp. Yes or no? Equals to this is the schema. For example, this is the schema. Okay. Then in that case, what you are going to do? In that case, you will be telling, say, EID. Yes or no? EID say some value, then ename, then ESAL. Now, if you change there, then how many places you may need to change? Getting it? Okay, guys, please raise hands before. Okay, sure. Okay, I hope you understood. Let's get back, guys, quickly.
श्योर सर श्योर
Okay,
थैंक यू
okay,
सर थैंक यू
welcome. So where we were, let me clean this up completely. Okay, and let me dereference it also. Okay, this is a quick ramp up. I am not explaining all the things in depth, whatever we had discussed. Just I am now. If I have to destructure this, where, okay, this is the destructuring. Okay, when it was array destruction, this symbol was array symbol, right? This one like this. But now where it is object, then destructuring will be like this. Okay, in that case, what you have to give, you want all the values, then what you have to do? EID, ename, designation, okay, and address. Now see, address is another further one more object is there. Yes or no? Then for that, what we have done in our last session? Okay, now see, EID is giving what? Ename is giving what? Designation is giving what? And address is giving what? Address is another one. So if you want further, you have to follow the same steps, like address. For address, what you have to do? For address, what you have to do? Where? Okay, like this. And ADD you have to give. In this case, what you have to give? Location and pin. Then in that case, what will happen? Location if you take, okay, then it gives location. Yes or no? Did I do something wrong? It got refreshed. Okay, location and
सर 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 सर
हाँ,
थोड़ा सा पीछे का बताना ये थोड़ा ज़्यादा स्पीड हो गया थोड़ा मुझे मतलब
you have attended
केवल
last class, no?
यस सर
Sagar, na?
नॉट सागर सर
Sumit,
सुमित है
Sumit. Okay, Sumit.
सॉरी सर
No problem. You go through the recording. Anyway,
श्योर सर
okay. Because this is in detail, in depth explained. Okay. I have shared the link. Please find some time to go through. Okay. And if you have to do some aliasing, then how you can do that? Okay, I don't want EID. I want, while destructuring, I want it in other name. Because what is happening here also EID, I want to destructure it through EID. Then in that case, what is the step? How you follow that? EMP. Now, rather than EMP, what I want to do? I want to say assign one more object. Inside this, what I want to do? I want to say, for example, okay, say X is hello and Y is say for example 15, okay, and say Z is say false. Z is false. Okay. Now this is an object on the right side. I want to do what? I want to destructure it. Then what I need to do? I need to say XYG. Rather than that, here it is also XYG. For X, I want to say it is a okay, say my string. Okay. See, aliasing means you are giving a colon. You are giving a colon. Okay. Y is say my number. And Z is what? Z is say my bull. Okay. So we are destructuring in XYG, but we are aliasing them. That means now rather than X, we'll be recognizing this value with my string, my number, and my boolean. So in that case, what will happen? My string, I will take my string. If I say X, what I put is X is not defined because you have already aliased it. So in the time of destructuring only, it has destructured it X. Here it is just for mapping that my string is actually looking for X value to get assigned. Okay. Y is Y. Y matching, then directly 15 will be assigned to my number, not Y. So you will not get X, Y, G there. When you are destructuring, you will get directly. If you want by name, then keep it XYG. You will get in XYG. But when you are aliasing, no problems. No problem. Okay. This is for you people only. You can ask. Okay. Please go through. After that, next class you can ask. Okay. Okay. Now X, Y, G. So in this case, my string, my number, and my boolean. Okay. So my string is hello. Then my number is 15, and my boolean is false. So this is called aliasing. Now in the same statement, what I want to do, I am having one more. Say I'm having one more. Say now I'm destructuring P, Q. Okay, I'm destructuring these two also. But beyond X, Y, G, do we have any more variables? No. In that case, what will happen? So sorry, my bad. Okay, X, Y, G, my boolean. Then I want to do what? I want to destructure here P and Q. In that case, what it is telling? So after my boolean, if you want to alias, then you can alias. See here. Now P is whatever. So in this case, what I want to assign additional value, then default value, some default values I want to put. Then I can put how? I can put say P equals to 10 and Q equals to say something. So in that case, what happens? See, here one-on-one, if you are having XYZ here, 3 parameters are there. Here, how many parameters are there? These 3 are there. Yes or no? I am say, for example, removing this. So in this case, what will happen? Anyone? X will be assigned with hello. Do we have a P key? Here XYG. Do we have a P? No. In that case, what will happen? It cannot be destructured. Yes or no? See here what is happening. See now. It is telling unexpected. Anyway, if you want to alias all this, so better alias all of them because it is not going to make it. Now here X is this one. P is what? P, there is no P key. There is no Q key. Yes or no? So in that case, what will happen? X will be assigned with hello. But what about P and Q are not existing? Yes or no? Now tell me. So when you want some default values, that key must not be existing, right? That key must not be existing. Here it is. Okay, sorry, my bad, guys. I did something. Let me take it freshly. Okay. Now tell me. Now tell me. So X is this hello, Y is 15, and G is false. Then we have P and Q. So see here now. See here now. X is not existing. X is not existing because you have alias. So my string. Okay, it is hello. Then my number is 15. Then my boolean is this. Then P is what? P is undefined. Do we have P? Do we have P here? No P. So P is telling undefined. So rather than getting undefined, if I want some default values here, and Q is also undefined. Q is also undefined. Okay. So in this case, what changes we have to do here? In this case, I want some default value. If nothing is there, it should not show undefined. So I will assign some value, say 100. And Q is say okay, something. This one already we had done in our last session. So now see here, my boolean false, then my number is 15. Then what is there? What is there? My string is hello. Then what is P? P is no more undefined. Q is no more undefined. So you are able to assign some default value to that. Okay, this we had already done. Today we are going to see. So how many functions we have known so far, guys? Can you ping? Can you update the value of P? Yes, you can update. You can update. P equals to 100 is here, right? P equals to 100 here. Now, thing is that, okay, good question, Akani. Let's see. Now P is what, guys? In this P is what, 100? P is what, 100? Now if I want to assign P to 200, now P is what, 200? Okay, okay. Now, so you could have asked me in little different way, Akani. If I would have made it rather than var, if I would have taken it constant. Okay, this one, guys, that is really a good question. Rather than var, if I will take const. See here, the earlier one we had taken what? The earlier one we had taken var. Now we are taking it as constant, right? We are taking it as constant. So in this case, what it is telling? My string is already declared. My string is already declared. So it will refresh this browser. Okay, so that all memories will go. Now here, my string is what? My string is hello. Y is, or sorry, my number is 15. Then my boolean is false. Then P is 100. I want to make P equals to 200. Now tell me what will happen. Now tell me what will happen quickly, guys. Quick. We have to get into next things. We cannot change value in constant. Okay, we cannot change value in constant. It will not allow. Okay, can't change. All agree with that? See here, what it is telling? Assignment to constant variable. So when you are declaring constant, you cannot change. When you are declaring constant, you cannot change. Block scope. Okay. We'll see what is block scope. Okay. And like, what is the difference between var, let, all these things we are going to see in depth. Don't worry. Okay, fine. So is it clear, Akani? Okay, good. Okay, so fine. Today we will see something from ES6 concept, that is arrow function. So how many functions you have seen so far? Can you name something? How many type of function? How many type of function we have discussed already? First class, that is. Okay, first class anonymous function, then higher order function. Okay, regular function, callback function, anonymous function. Okay, okay. No one told about inner function. Inner function. Okay. Closure. Okay. Closure we will see. Okay. Inner function I didn't cover, right?
नहीं पढ़ा है सर.
Okay. Okay. we will discuss. We discussed inner function too. I am not, आपके बैच में नहीं पढ़ाया. Okay, we will see when we will go to closure and all. We will see that. Okay, anyway, inner function पढ़ाया तो अच्छा है, नहीं पढ़ाया तो और भी अच्छा है. We are going to again do that. Okay, fine. Today first we will see arrow function. Today we are going to see arrow function. So what is an arrow function? What is an arrow function? Okay, so basically what happens, like if I'm writing a function, how we define say f1. This is a function scope. This is called scope of a function. This is called scope of a function. Whatever are there inside, that gets loaded into stack with a reference in the name of f1. Yes or no? Okay. Now. So if I'm writing something inside this, I'm writing say console.log. Okay. Hello all. Okay. Hello all. Okay. This is a simple function. How invoke f1. Right? How invoke f1. Okay. Now, any normal function, this is a normal function. Okay. And now this, when it is having say one line code or 30 lines of code inside this, then it does not look to be readable much. Okay. So from ES6 onwards, ES means ECMAScript. ECMA means ECMA. ECMA is European. It is called ECMA. ECMA stands for European. Okay. European ECMA. European Manufacturing Association. European Computer, I think. Computer Manufacturing Association. This is an association which fixes the standards, or it standardizes the browser related scripts. ECMA. Okay. So ES6 is the after ES6 onwards, the functional programmings were redefined or restructured. Cannot say redefined, restructured. So the same function you can write. Okay, you can write using arrow function. How you write an arrow function? So this function, let's first transfer it to arrow function, then you will understand. Okay. So what and all things will be there inside out of this function? You need not write a function. It is a function, everybody knows that. You need not write all this. From here just you write. From here you write. Okay. From here I'll copy paste this. I pasted this. Okay. And here what I need to do? Just put an arrow. This became an arrow function. What I removed? I removed some boilerplate code. That is, everywhere you need to write a function. Whenever you are defining a function, you have to write a keyword function, then function name. You don't need. You put this, put an arrow, then after that, whatever you are writing inside, you write it. Okay. Now, see here. It returned this function. Okay. Now, if I am having this function f1, okay, if I am doing this f1, what it is going to give us? If I am just printing f1, what it is going to give us? Function body, right? It is going to give us function body. It is not going to invoke. If I have to invoke it, then what I need to do? I have to do like this. Then it is going to call this. Right? Okay. Now for arrow function, what happens? There is no name. Is there a name for this? No. That means what kind of function it is? If you write a function without name, then what kind of function it is? It is an anonymous function. Right? So how you invoke this anonymous function? Anonymous function can be used for two purposes, right? Anonymous function can be used for two purposes. What are that purposes? It is to be assigned to a variable. Good Prakshal. It is to be assigned to a variable. That means in that case, anonymous function becomes what? What kind of function? It will become a first class function. Okay. What is the second? What is the second one? It can be passed as an argument to another function. It can be passed as an argument to another function. So anonymous function has two things to do. First one is, yes, in the callback. It could be a callback. Okay. So first class function, anonymous function can be assigned to a first class function, or it may be used as a callback. These are the two things you can do with an anonymous function. Similarly, for the arrow function also, you have to do the same thing. You have to do the same thing. Now, this function, if I'm doing this function, if I'm defining this like this is our function body, right? This is our function. If I'm telling, say, var my fun, and I'm assigning this, okay. Then in that case, how I am going to invoke this function? How I'm going to invoke that function? Tell me. Today I'm not moving fast. Just I want to you try to reiterate through whatever you have been through so far. My function and this, right? My function. So it is, in this case, my function is what? A variable which is holding another function, and which is my function is holding the function. That function is what? That function is a first class function because it can be assigned to a variable. Yes or no? Okay. Now, can I call this with F1? Can I call this with F1? Okay. Let's refresh this. Okay. Now let's go back. Now this. Okay. So how we are going to invoke this my function, right? Okay. Can we invoke the same thing with F1? Yes or no? It is a function. It is a function. You can, no? You are calling this with my function because it is a first class function. But F1 exists or not, my function? Can you call this like this or not? No? It is assigned already to a variable. Okay. See here. So F1 is not defined. So it does not define whenever you are writing this body. That means, is there a use of giving a name to this? If you cannot invoke this, whenever you are doing this and assigning it to a variable, you can assign it and you can use this to invoke that function. Then what is the use of giving a name to this function? Is there any use? No use, right? No use of it. That means what you can do, you can keep it anonymous. And when it is an anonymous, no need to give space also. Now you can call it my function. That means when you are assigning a function to a another variable, then it can be anonymous. It can be anonymous. Likewise, okay, same function, okay, if I will convert it to arrow function, okay, what you need to keep? Only this you need to keep. You don't need, this is a boilerplate code. Why you need, when a function call, it starts like this, we know that, then why you need to use a keyword like function? You don't need, put an arrow. Right? Put an arrow. So this function, now this also can be invoked. This also can be invoked like this. Okay, if you're having any doubt, that was having hello all, I'll make it hello all anonymous, hello all arrow. Sumit, please ask.
सर ये where में assign किया है ना? Yes sir, सर ये where में assign किया है, जरूरी मैंने ज्यादातर जितना भी अभी तक कोड किया है उसमें सब const में ही assign होता फंक्शन, जैसे const my fun और जैसे arrow function जो है.
Okay, let me answer your question. Let me answer your question.
Yes sir, sure.
Let me answer your question. If I am trying to print a variable, a is not defined. A is not defined. Directly trying to print where it is looking for. When you are trying to display a, where it is trying to check? In window object, right? In window object, yes or no? So there is no variable called a. But if I'll say a equals to, okay, if I say var a, then if I say a, then it becomes undefined. See here.
नहीं नहीं सर,
Wait.
मेरा
I'm coming to your question.
ऑलराइट सर.
Okay. What you asked, I have understood. See, now it is a. So when you declare like this randomly, it will tell a is not defined. But when you declare var a, then a is undefined. There is a difference between not defined and undefined. I hope you are understanding. There is a thin line between them. Okay. Okay. Now, is there a value called b? No, right? But if I am telling b equals to 5, b equals to 5, then I type b. What it is? 5. Did I take var b equals to 5 here? Did I take var equals to 5 here? Var b equals to 5. I took directly b equals to 5. So as on the right hand side, value is there, when got assigned, it is automatically making it a variable. Now let's come back to your question. You are telling var people define it const. Functions are actually, if it is var, when you go for, like, because JavaScript is an object oriented programming language, right? It has OOP concept and all. Okay. So people may change it. People may, whenever, see, you have defined, you are using a third party library. You are using a third party library. They don't want certain functionality to be changed, because that is a black box for you. You are just using their APIs, or their documentation will be there. You have to use it like this way. You will be using. If you can change it, then you can make it like you will not be achieving the functionality it is supposed to have. Okay. So for that reason, they make it const. Now, if you are asking a question that why they put var, why they put const, why they don't put var, but you put var. Okay. I am now doing what? I am taking this function. Okay. I am taking this function, and it is, I am telling, say, my fun 1, 2, 3. Do I have a var or a const? Did I declare var or const here? Did I declare var or const here? No, right? No, right? Yes or no? See here. See here now. My function 1, 2, 3. My function 1, 2, 3. Okay. So in this case, if I'll say my function 1, 2, 3. Okay. And I'll invoke, what will happen? What will happen? You got it. So it is not necessary that you need to declare a var or a const. When you don't declare it as a variable, what happens basically? Whatever it is returning, this actually this is an assignment, right? So this right hand side gets assigned to left hand side. So at the same time, what happened? B equals to 5 you did. What it returned you? B equals to 5 you did. What did it return you? 5. If I say C equals to 10, what it returns? The value it returns. If I say var D equals to 20, what it returns? Did it return anything? But that does not mean that it didn't get assigned. So here you didn't put a var. That's why this right hand side returned this function to this. That's why it displayed this function. Like similar way you did C equals to 10, it returned 10. Nothing else. Okay. If you make it var, then it won't display, it will tell undefined. It will tell undefined. Here also it told undefined. That means it confirmed that it got assigned and it is in the undefined state. It was in the undefined state. This is a confirmation, acknowledgement. Okay, fine. Let's not waste time. Did I answer your question? Who had asked? Sumit. Okay, thank you. Okay, now let's go back. So this is our function. Okay, this is our function. Now, in this, even why, if this is only the case that whatever it was there in the single function, simply you are going to transfer it. Okay, so this is a normal function. I got so many things like that. Okay, this is a normal function. Okay, this is a normal function. If I want to make it an arrow function, what I'm doing? I'm copying whatever it is there here. I'm copying this. Okay, I'm copying this from here to here. Okay, and Just what I'm putting an arrow. Okay. And as it is supposed to, earlier it was F1 as a reference. Here it is anonymous. So same F1, whatever it is there, F1. So I am supposed to copy not from here, from here. See, it is just a beautiful thing, just for understanding purpose. I will copy directly everything from here to here. In this, in between the first one, I'll put assignment. In between the second one, I'll put an arrow function. That's all. Okay. Now, this both the functions, I'm putting it F2. So now F1 and F2 both are, this is an elegant way to do that. But what additional mileage we get here? Okay. See here, it is a single statement. It is a single statement. In that case, you don't need to put this curly bracket. Here in function, if you don't put curly bracket, it won't allow you. It won't allow you to define the function because it is a function body. But in arrow function, it knows when it is a single line. Okay, then in that case, what you can do? In that case, what you can do? No need to put this also. Directly put it like this. See here. F2. Yes or no? If you call F2, you are going to get this. You're going to get this. Okay. Now, when it is a single statement, okay, see here, when it is a single statement, okay, see here, anyway, it is going to be assigned here, right? It is going to be assigned to the right hand side. So as per the lexical scoping, it will be assigned and this guy has to take care of this. It will be going as a block, right? Yes or no? So in this case, if I do this, then also it is fine. Anyway, in JavaScript, it is not a very, like strictly it is looking for a semicolon. But in ES6 onwards, it does. But in this case, when it is an arrow function, you need not do this for a single line of code. Okay. When it is multi-line of code, then you need a semicolon because it is a delimiter between multiple lines. If I want to return here hello all and hi all, then in that case, what I need to do? I need to say console.log hi all. Then in that case, what will happen? Can I assign it like this? See, it returned hi all. Yes or no? Now I'm going to call F2. What it is doing? F2. What it is doing now? See here. We're just giving hello all. Because you didn't put what? You didn't put them within the parenthesis, curly bracket. Yes or no? So it takes the first line. Here. Here it printed console.log as second line, but here it took only first line. So if you have to take multiple lines, then you have to put a parenthesis in that case. Otherwise, not required. Fine. Very simple. Okay. Fine. Now, okay. So what is an arrow function? Just quick note. It is not important. Nothing much concepts are there, but still, what is arrow function? What is an arrow function? Okay. A normal. It's an any function can be converted to an arrow function as per ES6 standard. Okay. What is the advantage of it? Arrow function. It is you will see versatile use of it in functional programming, right? It is now every arrow function is always an anonymous function. An arrow function is always an anonymous function. Hence it can be used in two ways. What are they? First one is as a callback, and second one is as a what? As a, tell me, first class function. Okay. Then good point, Sagar. Good point. So it also removes the boilerplate code. It also removes the boilerplate code. Okay. It also removes code. But here it is not ending here. Here it does not end. Okay. Here it does not end. We will see now little more things. What is that? Let's see. Okay. Okay. Now, so let me go ahead and write a normal this one. Okay. Function F1. Function F1. Okay. Inside console.log. Console.log. Okay. I want to print a value, say this dot A. Okay. This dot A. Console.log this dot A. Now, could you tell me what is this? Could you tell me what is this? Okay, forget about this dot A. Okay, just will print this. Somebody has raised hand. Yeah, you can ask.
यस सर, थैंक यू सर. सर मैं ये पूछना चाह रहा था, जैसे कि ये जो हम कॉन्स्ट और वेरिएबल्स की स्टोरेज पढ़ रहे हैं सारा कुछ, तो कभी हमको जो ब्राउजर के बारे में टोटल कभी कुछ ऐसा सेशन दे सकते हैं एक दिन का?
Anyway, we are going to discuss. I'll be telling you, you know, what and all
Yes, sure, sir.
JavaScript runtime environments are there as per the browser. That there is a
Yes,
class
sir.
for that. We have not reached
Sure,
there.
sir.
Okay.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Sagar, okay, welcome. Sagar says it's window object. Okay, it's window object. Now, what happens if I go with F1? See here what it is giving us. It's giving us window object by default. It's giving us window object by default. Yes or no? Okay. Now, can you tell me if I'm having, say, var emp equals to, okay, so this one, okay, I'm having this. What happened? What it is? Get location is not defined. Add address location. Okay, get location. Sorry. Okay, let me clean this. This is our function, right? This is our function. Now, when you called this, what you got it? Window object. Yes or no? Now, what I'm going to call? I am creating a var emp. Var emp. Okay, var emp. This is a simple one. This is a simple object. Now, in this case, if I'm calling F1, using f dot call, and I'm passing emp, what will the output? What will the output? We have done this very well. Yes or no? What will the output? F1 dot call apply bind. Do you remember that? Not defined. Why, Prakshal? It's not defined. So this will be still okay. Kamal says emp object. Do you remember the first statement of call? This argument, right? This argument. That means whatever you are sending, that will be assigned to this. Now this is by default. It points to which object? Window object. But when you are sending an emp using call, apply, or bind, at that time what happens? This employee will come. Now what will console.log is this is no more going to point to window object. It is going to print the employee. Right? Yes or no? Okay. Okay. Just now let's go back. So in this case, what I want to do, let's go back here. So this is our function. Okay. Now I want to make it an anonymous function. So how I am going to do that? I will copy this one. I am doing that for a couple of times. I do, then you will be used to, you will start remembering things. Assign this. Yes or no? Put an arrow. I want to define it to another var f2, say for example. F2. Yes or no? Okay, const or var, anything is fine. Okay, var f2. It is f1, it is f2. Now tell me, if I call f1, what it is pointing to? What it is pointing to? This is pointing to window object. F1 is pointing to window object only, right? Yes or no? Now if I am going to call F2, what it is going to point to? If I'll call F2, what it is going to point to? Both are same. Both are same, right? Okay. Both are same. Now, using arrow function, can I use call apply bind? F2 dot call. Can I do this? Yes, we can do this. Okay, it is still pointing to this. Okay. Now F2. Now F2. I am gradually going to my this one. Okay. Now F2. In this, I want to. So where is that EMP? So where EMP? This is the one. This is the one. Okay. And now in F2 dot call, I'll pass EMP. Now what will happen? Now what will happen? Same output we are going to get it, but we didn't get. Sagar, we do same task with arrow function wherever task is doing, whatever task. But see here what it is telling. F2 dot call EMP. It didn't do that. It is giving C F2 dot call. F2 dot call. Whenever you send without anything, then it went as window object. But whenever you are sending EMP, then also it is showing the window object. Are we getting this? What is happening? Can anyone tell? Need to this. What is need to this? What is need to this?
Sir, telling user लिख रहा हूँ अभी.
Okay. No clue. See, F1 you passed, F2 you passed. Yes or no? Same thing if I do F1 dot call and you pass EMP object, then what it is going to give you? What it is going to give you? It is giving EMP object, but here it is not giving. Here it is not giving. Is it because of anonymous function? Okay, we will see. It's not the reason here. It's not the reason here. Okay, let's go and check. Let's go and check. Anyway, a lot of things are there in this one also. Arrow function we are yet to cover. Sorry, I removed it. WMP dot window. EMP dot window. What is that EMP dot window? Okay, let me create a JSON object. For example, okay, where say my vals. Where my vals. Okay, this is a JSON object. Okay, now I am having a equals to 10. Can we access whole object using dot dot? Sagar will get. I am not very sure what you are asking.
नहीं मैं पूछ रहा था कि अगर उस दिस में हमें विंडो ऑब्जेक्ट मिल रहा था EMP से, तो हम EMP डाल के EMP डॉट विंडो डाल के उसे एक्सेस नहीं कर सकते?
EMP डॉट विंडो.
हाँ.
तो क्या होगा EMP डॉट विंडो से? कुछ होने वाला EMP डॉट विंडो से?
मुझे कुछ आइडिया नहीं है सर.
Okay, this you did and this you did, right? These are the two functions. Now you can invoke F1, it gives. You can invoke F2, it gives, right? Okay, now you are having another object, say var EMP. Var EMP. Okay, let's make it shortcut. Okay, let it not be that big. Okay, this is var EMP. Now what is the process of call method? You can call f1 dot call, f2 dot call. So when you do f1 dot call, okay, without passing anything, then again it is nothing you are passing, is by default it is going to point to window object. And same thing for f2 also, f2 dot call, f2 dot call. Then also it is going to give you window object. But when it changes, when you are passing some object here, whatever the object you are passing, that will go and get assigned to this. Window object is default object. Window object is default object for what, Prakshal? Okay, okay. Now let's try to get the answer. Okay, f1 dot call, f1 dot call. If I'm passing emp now to this, then it is giving me this. If I'm calling
sir.
f2 dot call and I'm passing emp,
dot window.
then it is going to give window, right?
यस सर, और यहाँ पर अगर emp डॉट विंडो डालने के बाद नहीं मिलेगा, ओके विंडो के ऑब्जेक्ट मिल रहे हैं यहाँ पे, ऑब्जेक्ट नहीं मिल रहा है,
यहाँ पे नहीं मिल रहा है, right? Okay, we'll get this answer in some time. Okay, I'm going to another one. Okay, now what I'm doing, I am creating var say my values, and it's a JSON object. Let's try to get our answer, what we are looking for. Inside this, say for example, x is say for example 100, y is say 200, and g is nothing but it's say for example another function. What kind of function? I can write f1, but is it of any use when it is used to assign? This function will be assigned to z, means what it is? It is a first class function, so no point of giving any name to that. So inside this, what I'm doing, what I'm doing here, I'm writing console.log. Okay, console.log x plus y. Okay, and here it is sum is. Would it work? Would it work? See, function is what? Function is a part of this object. Sumit says yes. Would it work? Okay. Now, no need to write this dot x. No, we need to write. Okay. Prakshal is telling. Okay, and Sagar is telling. Okay. Now, if I say my val dot z.
सर इसमें वर्क क्या कराना है, मतलब इसको तो नॉर्मल ऑब्जेक्ट में की वैल्यू में फंक्शन दिया हुआ है, तो वो तो मतलब
हाँ, तो क्या होगा? What will the output here? What is the output now? 300.
सर z 300 sir.
It's 300. Okay, Prakshal says not a number. Sir. Okay. See here what it is giving. It's telling x is not defined. And if x will be defined, then it will tell next y is not defined. That means inside z, if you are trying to access x and y, it is not visible. They are not visible. Okay, let's put a debugger to understand this. Okay, I'm going to put a debugger here. Okay, I'm putting a debugger here. Okay, and here my value dot z I'm invoking. Now it will go where? It will go here. Now inside this, see what and all values are created. What and all values are created here. See, this object is created. This object is created for which one? This object. See here. This object has x, y, z. This object has x, y, z. Okay. 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 Now x, y, z is there. X is 100, y is 200, z is something. Okay. Now in this case, see here. This is having x, y, z. But inside this, if you see, x is what? X is undefined. But inside this x value is there or not? This object as x value 100, this value as y. Okay, so in place of x, when I am going here, okay, it is telling x and y. See here, it is red. X is not defined, uncut reference error. So, but x was where? In the this object. So rather than this, what you can do? Rather than that, what you can do? Just you can go and say this dot x and this dot y. So is it going to give you the correct output now? Yes, it is going to give you correct output, right? Okay, it is going to give you. Now it is, we have put a debugger, right? Run this. So you are getting what? Sum is 300. Sum is 300, right? Okay. So this is perfectly fine. Now, same function, I will convert it to an arrow function. Same function, I'm going to convert it to an arrow function. How you are going to do that? Do you need a separate variable here because it is already what? It is anonymous function. So just remove this and put this. That's all, right? That's all. Yes or no? I'll remove debugger, for example. Okay, it is my vals. Okay, arrow. Okay, my vals arrow. I'm defining it again. Now my vals arrow dot z. My vals arrow dot z is going to give you what? Same output. Yes or no? 300. 300. No. Then what it will give? There is some logic behind it. What logic is there? Okay. So 300, right? So two people say no. This is undefined in arrow function. Okay. This is undefined in arrow function. Okay. So then at least tell me the output. Tell me the output. 300 or exception or what? 300. Okay. Prakshal says X is not defined. Okay. Correct. Very good catch. X is not defined. Okay. Let's go and call this. So sum is nan, not a number. Sum is not a number. Why? See, same function we did it, it gave us output, but here when we converted it to arrow function, it didn't give us. Why? Let's put a debugger to check why it happened. Same functionality, put a debugger here. Put a debugger here. Okay. Now run this. Run this. Okay. And let me close this one. Now here, if you see, this is what? This dot x is undefined. If you go to the call stack, okay. If you go to the call stack, see here, in the call stack, in the local, what it is telling? This is undefined. And in the global, it is window. Sorry, my bad. Go to the call stack, my bad. Okay. This is Z. This is Z value. Okay. This Z function is in the call stack. Okay. For that, in the call stack, it is a Z. Yes or no? It is a Z. Okay. Now for this is what? This is undefined. And here also this is undefined. Yes or no? Why this is undefined? Now, if you see here, whenever you are in the arrow function, so it is giving you undefined. So this is not pointing to any more window or anything. Yes or no? This is not pointing to window or anything. Okay, this dot x, this dot y, this is not defined inside this. When you are having an arrow function inside this, it is telling this is not defined. Okay. Okay.
यस सर श्योर, ये
Hmm?
एरो फंक्शन में दिस यूज नहीं कर सकते ना?
This नहीं यूज कर सकते, कौन बोला? You have used before some time, right? Here you have used.
नहीं
हाँ.
मैंने एक जगह मुझे किसी ने बताया था कि उसमें एरो ऑनोनिमस यूज करना पड़ेगा, नोड का कुछ टास्क था कोई उसमें,
Okay. But
तो
here we have
उसमें
used.
बताया था कि
Here we have used. Here also you got this, and here also you got this.
मतलब कॉल बैक कराने के लिए उसमें दिस यूज नहीं, एरो एरो फंक्शन नहीं लगेगा, जैसे कोई फंक्शन कॉल बैक फंक्शन बनाना है, मतलब कोई आर्गुमेंट में फंक्शन
One
लिखना है
second,
तो
guys.
उसमें
1 second, guys. I am getting a call. Sorry. Okay. So this you can use. Nobody stops you. But what this points to, we have to see that. What this points to, we have to see that. Here it was pointing to window object. Here it was pointing to window object. Now for this one, this object is pointing to whom? This dot x and this dot y. When you are doing, it is telling undefined, right? It is telling not defined, not a number. See this dot x. So that means inside this, when it is an arrow function, okay. So in this case, tell me now what will the output? Rather than this, if I am pointing like this x and y, what will the output now? What will the output now? X and y. X is not defined and y is not defined. In this case also, x and y not defined, it will come, right? What it is telling? X is not defined. Now, so in this case, if I'm printing, if I'm going to print sum is forget about sum. If I'm going to print this object, if I'm going to print this object, then what will the output? What will the output? After argument list, sorry, my bad, little this one. So here, check, I'm trying to print this. Okay, rather than sum is, I'm just trying to print this object. Okay, so in this case, what will happen? Tell me what it is going to print. Window object. Is it going to print window object? See here. Now it is printing window object. So in the window object, it is not there. But how it is printing window object? For earlier case, this means current object it was printing. Now in this case, it is printing window object. So when you did this dot x and this dot y in window object, do you have x and y here? So same function will work if I will create var x equals to 10. Okay, var x y equals to 20. Okay, and same call I will do. Now what will the output? Anonymous function would not have local scope for this object. Okay, we will see. There is no local scope you want to tell. We will see that. See here. So in this case, what it is printing? It is printing this object. Okay, then if you change the function, sorry, my bad, you change the function now. Okay, you make it this one, and now if you call this one, then what it is the output? 30, because now in window object you have assigned that value. You see your window object, you have x and y. You go here and check here, x and y will be there. My god, this is gh x. Anyway, it will be somewhere. If you want to say window.x, you can print. Okay, window dot print x, you can print somewhere, it will be there. Okay, it's too big object to find this. Somewhere it is. See here, x and y are there. X and y are there, right? X equals to 10, y equals to 20. That's why it is there. Okay. Okay. Let's go back. Now, rather than expanding, let's do this. Okay. So now we got it. That means it was not pointing to the same level. It was not pointing to the same. So in normal function, what happens? If it would have been a normal function, how it would have been? If it is a normal function, if it is a normal function, if this would have been rather than this, likewise, it would have been remove this, and you put function. If it is a normal function, this points to the current object. This points to the current object. Yes or no? Now in this case, what will happen? What will be the output? Now my value this. Now what will the output? See here, it is 300. It is pointing to the same level. This function is pointing to this object, means current object. But here, this object is window object. This object, it was pointing to window object for arrow function. Now let's try to do little more experiment. Now I am going to create fresh tab. It's so slow. Sumit, tell me till it opens. Oh, it.
सर ये
हाँ
कैन आई आस्क सर?
हाँ
सर
ask, ask.
ये एरो फंक्शन और नॉर्मल जो फंक्शन है एकमा स्क्रिप्ट के जो फंक्शन एरो फंक्शन जो आया है बाद में, हम जरूरी नहीं है कि मतलब हमको सारे फंक्शन सारे सभी टाइप ऑफ फंक्शंस की नीड है, इसका मतलब ये है ना?
सॉरी
क्योंकि जैसे कि अभी एरो फंक्शन के साथ वो किया था, उसने विंडो के ऑब्जेक्ट को डिफाइन किया कि विंडो ऑब्जेक्ट है। विदाउट एरो फंक्शन किया तो उसने उसके ही ऑब्जेक्ट की
your voice is breaking.
वैल्यू को प्लस करके प्रिंट
Your
करा दिया।
voice is
तो ये
breaking.
यस सर, हेलो।
Please tell me.
श्योर सर, जैसे कि अभी आपने एरो फंक्शन यूज किया था, उसमें तो एरो फंक्शन के साथ उसने बताया कि ये विंडो ऑब्जेक्ट है, ये विंडो ऑब्जेक्ट की उसने वो किया, और जैसे ही आपने नॉर्मल फंक्शन का डिफाइन किया तो उसने उसी ऑब्जेक्ट के की वैल्यू को प्लस करके दे दिया। तो हम दोनों टाइप के फंक्शंस को यूज करेंगे, मतलब ये पूछ रहा हूँ।
देखते हैं।
नॉर्मल
let me write one more object. Let me write one more object. Say a equals to, say for example here, say for example a equals to 100. Okay, and b equals to 200. This is the value we had given, right? And say for example c equals to. Now c is what? C is another object. C is one more object. Okay. Inside this also I am having a equals to, say for example 50, and b equals to 60. And inside this also I am having a c function. Inside this also I am having a c function. Okay. So how I am going to define this c function? C is a function. It's a normal function. It's a normal function. And inside this, what I am doing? I am doing console.log. Okay. A is a plus okay, and b is b. But I want to do what? Okay, let me simply do that a plus b only. We are doing at the time, no? So what I will do here, say some same function, right? Sum is okay. And here what I want to do, say this dot a plus this dot b. What will happen now? What will happen now? Now I am doing what? My complex object. Now I am going to invoke this. How I am going to invoke this? Can someone tell me? If I am now going to invoke this, how I am going to invoke this? My complex object. Yes or no? My complex object. Object. Yes or no? My complex object. If you print this, see here, A, B, C are there. So can I say dot C? Dot C is another object, and inside that there is a C function. For example, say C. If I am printing this, what will the output now? Again NaN, right? 110. Everyone is telling 110. Why 110? Why 110?
Current object.
Current object. Okay, this is not a arrow function though. This is not a, okay, simple. This is not a arrow function. Okay. So in this case, current object, it is going to give you 110. Sum is 110, right? Now, same thing I want to do, and same thing I want to do what? I want to call it, I want to define this as arrow function. So how I am going to do that? Like this and like this. Okay, like this. So in this case, we define it. Now I'm going to call this. What will happen? 300. Now it will be 300. Why? Akani says no. This assignment. Okay. So what will the output, guys? A and B are not in the global scope. The scope would be previous one's scope. So it should be 300, I guess. This takes 100, B as 200. Okay. Let's call this. Now this is the one, right? Okay. I could have renamed it. To object 1. Okay. Object 1. Now do this. So here it is what? Object 1. Now what will the output? See here. Sum is how much? But here, so my bad. I'm thinking why, how come it is happening? My bad, sorry guys. So this make it an arrow function. And here make it object 2. Okay. Object 2. Now it's an arrow function. So now when you are calling this, what will the output see? What will the output? See here. It is still telling NaN. It's still telling NaN. Now let's go and put a debugger here. Let's go and put a debugger here. Where? Here. Debugger here. Okay. Now run this. So go inside this. Okay. Here, if you go here, what it is telling? Local scope, this is undefined. So in the local scope, this is undefined. Okay. So in this case also, this, if this is undefined, so undefined dot A, undefined dot B is going to give you result what? Undefined plus undefined is going to give you what? Not a number. So it's not its immediate parent. So this, if you are printing this here, only this, then what it is going to here also, if I let's complete this. And if you go here, here rather than sum and this, if you are printing this object, then what it is going to give you? This, just print this. Okay. Remove this, comment this, and run this one. So it is going to give you what? Again, the window object only. Why? Because whenever you are working on arrow function, okay, this object by default points to window object only. Okay. This object refers to whom? This object, arrow function. Whenever you are using this object, then in that case, what happens? It is pointing to window object only. Okay. Now, so we have some catches which you will be seeing in coming class. It's already late. Arrow function, nothing was there, but it took so much time. Okay. So tomorrow we will see what are the exceptions in this. Okay, we didn't start with argument and all here. Today we started class little late, I believe. Okay, sorry about that. Today we could not complete this one. Tomorrow, within next 10 to 15 minutes, I'll finish this and we'll go with very beautiful concept.
ओके सर। तो सर ये संडे को हमारी क्लास होने वाली है ना HTML CSS?
1 second, let me stop recording.
ओके सर।
Any question related to this?
No, sir. Tomorrow.
So like the thing is like the arrow function could not like by default it take this function as a global object only. Is that so?
Okay, we will see with little more evidences too. Okay. So when arrow function you are using, okay, like how this arrow function behaves with like whenever it is dealing with this. Okay. Tomorrow with couple of more examples. We will see that. Okay. You can go mute. Okay. So fine. Let me stop recording first.